I'm Dan Warnken. I'm 33 years old. I live in Oakdale on Long Island in New York, and I own and run Vinyl Paradise, a record store in Sayville. So I decided to open Vinyl Paradise. It's a longish story. I was in a really bad place. I was working a job I absolutely hated. So after almost 2 years, probably about 20, 22 months in there, one day I get home and the person I had married let's have a discussion and says, this isn't working. I'm leaving. So that was a fun day. So, get up, go back to work. What else can you do? A couple weeks later, my dad passed away, which was difficult. My dad and I always had an interesting relationship. My parents had gotten divorced when I was 18 months old, so we were never incredibly close, but that was a tough thing to deal with. Not just the loss of him, but dealing with my emotions around it. The band Iron Chic, that was a big help because one of the first things I did after everything happened, wound up seeing, hey, they're playing a couple blocks away from where I live. Let me go check it out. And it was a good chance to reconnect with people I hadn't seen in a while and, kind of forget that everything that was going on at the time. Like, kind of just put it aside and be like, no, I'm out. I'm with people I care about. I'm going to have a good time. Everything else be damned. I guess you could say I was drawn into the punk rock community because growing up in high school, it's one of the places, if you don't feel like you really belong anywhere else, punk is the place that takes everyone like that. So, I kind of made friends in that scene, worked my way into it, started playing in bands, started booking shows, and by extension, started working at other record stores. So I think that was more of my relationship with music, where it was kind of found by me. Encouraged by my parents, obviously, but it was something I found and latched onto and just ran with. Okay, so the name of the store is really, it ties back to the Long Island punk community a lot because there was a band that is still somewhat active. They're called The Fad, and in 2004-ish, they wrote a song called Vinyl Paradise. So I got to give credit to Tom and Jimmy and The Fad because they were the ones who technically named the store. And that's why Jimmy doesn't pay for records when he comes in. The record store itself, the business, and doing what I love is paradise for me, but I wouldn't have this if I hadn't been going to shows in 2003 in some crappy bar in Amityville. So, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't been there. As far as what I sell, as far as what I carry, there's a few things. Obviously, if it's popular, I'm gonna carry it. If people are talking about it, if it's a band that has a lot of buzz, I'm gonna carry it because at the end of the day, it is a business. I do want to make some money. I want to be able to pay my rent eventually. If you're espousing a message I don't like, or if you're known to be, for lack of a better term, the Chris Browns of the world, people with a very bad background that they're unabashedly unrepentant about. Those kind of bands, those kind of acts, I'm not going to carry. I'm very happy with where I'm at, and you start thinking about what the next step is, and it's one of those things where it can go a million different ways, and I'm just waiting for one to solidify and say this is the way we're going to go. With my dad passing away, my sister's been wanting to get a tattoo memorializing him, and she's been having a lot of issues with it. She's not sure what she wants. Should I get this? Should I get that? She settled on something, but it's still not 100%. And I was looking at my tattoo artist, and I'm like, this is real easy. It should just be a cup of coffee. Everything I remember about my dad, he always had a cup of coffee. This is 14, 15 years ago, but it's a serious conversation. We're all very intent. My dad comes home in the middle of it, and is standing and kind of looking at us, listening, and seems like he's about to say something. He looks excited. It's 11 o'clock at night. He looks at us and he goes, coffee, because there's a pot of coffee from the morning still out there that he's I need to microwave this right now. So I looked at Tara, I'm like, why not just get a cup of coffee with his name in it? Because that's Bob. That was my dad. That's what it was. It's not like I'm addicted to bad ideas, but I'm prone to making the choice that most people wouldn't make for fear of failure. And I do a lot of things that people would say is a bad idea. People would say sinking a lot of your money into opening a record store in 2016 with no real backup plan is a bad idea. So, but I'll do it. And, also all the beauty in this world, it's almost like a reminder that as bad as things can get, as bad as you can feel, there is still some good to see in this world. So